Welcome back, chess fan. In this video, we're gonna cover two anti-Sicilian when white played the Closed Sicilian to 93 or white played the Sicilian Alapin with the move 2c2 c3 on your right. Now let's go right into it. And what is my special prep? Here I recommend the move a6, which is not the main line. And here on g3, what we're gonna follow, the one and only Hikaru Nakamura. And he played g6 in a masterpiece and showing the way with the black pieces. Now, what is the idea of the move a6? It is to play b5, b4, and that knight will have to move somewhere. Now, you may say, is that the case? Why is not white doing a4 here? That's possible. Then I play knight c6, and on g3, I play g6, and eventually, I'll be able to play rook b8 and push b5. Now, going back in the game, we play b5, b4, the knight retreats, knight f6. Now, the knight may go here, so white play h3. And now we play bishop b7. We have our two bishops on the long diagonal in fianchetto positions, not like that, but like here. So we have our bishop in positions, white play castle. And here, ladies and gentlemen, something important. In all these lines, we're not gonna castle very early. We'll castle only if we have to. And here, Nakamura show the way and play a grandmaster class move. 97. With this knight, he's gonna be able to go to e5 if white pushes f5. The knight can go to b6. And what's important, our bishop over here is looking at the long diagonal and especially the b2 pawn as a target. So c3 played, a5. Once again, we're not in a hurry to castle. Knight f2, and we continue our plan a4. And chess fans, look at these. We have a very nice pawn structure, connect 4 or connect 5. We're trying to push a3. So remember, we're playing our pawn here, and our bishop here is helping us join the attack. Now, if white were to play g4, we play a3. And on rook b1, we play here, and white position is collapsing, right? Now, in this position, if a3 were to be played, we simply play queen a5. We're gonna have the rook coming into the game, and we're putting a lot of pressure on c3. And next, we're gonna have bishop a6 attacking d3 and the rook. So we have a beautiful position here. But in the game, rook ab1 played. Okay, bishop a6. As I told you, the rook here has activity, and that bishop is looking over there. Rook f1, castle finally on move 16, f5. And now what do we do with black? Queen f5, putting some pressure on this pawn here, which is under attack. Now, if white were to push here, we would do b3. Like in the game, we're happy to play any endgame, and we want to attack on the queen side. So here, c4 plays to lock the position. But what do? b3. And here, any endgame would be good for black. So white play queen c1, rook b8. Look at this once again, putting pressure on this b2 pawn. Bishop a6, take. And here, finally, knight g4, and we're trying with white to generate some attack, but it's too little too late. By the way, on queen g5 here, we'll play a3, we play no fear, and here we can even take and play a2 with a1 queen, no attack for black to fear about. So here, knight g4 played. What do? Rook b1, we take up our rook. Rook b1, attack the knight over here. And here, last move of the game, a3. And with a3, we have our strategy to push here. We're gonna take on e1. And when we exchange the pieces, we have a new queen. And this is it. So if I were to ask you to remember just one position here, we play here. We have the dream setup. a4, a5 is on top here. The knight on d7 is well placed. And our king stays fiercely in the center. And let's see another game. In this next example, we're going to see something different, still in the line 2a6. So g3, and we play b5. Bishop g2, bishop b7, knight f3, e6. This is more in a style of the Sicilian can or Sicilian Taimanov. What is a regular Sicilian can? You play e6, and here, somehow, you will play knight a6 or knight c6. That is what you would do. So now we are in this position, and here white has a choice. In the game, castle was made, and here you can do our plan. Remember, b7, b5, b4 because we play a6. So we push a knight and we grab a free pawn. Now in the game, there was a few more moves, and here black is up a pawn. Now in the game, rook c8 was played with the idea to play d5 like that. But if you wanted to, you can play knight e5, the queen moves, and we play bishop c6, attacks the knight here, and then we can play bishop e7 with a healthy extra pawn. So where did white go wrong? Where in this position, we're threatening b4, so d3 was played. And what did Magnus Carlsen, yes, the GOAT, Michael Carlsen, here in this position, he played d6, and after castle, he continued to develop the pieces, and then here, once again, he played b4, and he played knight f6. You can see he's in no rush to castle his king. The game went on. There was Arjun Eragaisi playing with white, and here, Carlsen hit with c4. What a move. If white were to take the pawn, then we can take on e4. And if white doesn't take the pawn, we're going to take on d3 and have a target here. So remember, don't castle too early, and you're ready against d3. So this is very a line I recommend, but I want to show you yet a last line. So now we play a6, but what if white was to play a Grand Prix attack? Now, very likely white is prepared against g6, bishop g7, and we play f4, f5, bishop c4, d3, and a strong attack. I have videos on my channel. Hikaru plays that with white. So what to do there? We play an early b5. We develop our bishop in fianchetto. We play e6 like the Sicilian can. And here, finally, what do? We do d5. Yes. So now we're threatening to take. So e5 played. And we played this mysterious move, h5. Game goes on. And we play knight e7, castle, knight f5. Once again, we don't castle early. And with h5 and our pawn, we secure a very nice positional advantage. Now the game goes on, and here white is trying to do d4. But white was too slow. We push d4 with a great game. Now knight g5 played, knight e4, and here, look, we're already on move 14, and we haven't castled. Rook f3 played because we were threatening to take and take here. And here, ladies and gentlemen, what do? We remember the previous example with Magnus Carlsen, and he played c4. And here, black played that as well. if you were to take d3, winning in the game, there were h3 played, took, and take with an extra piece. So again, beautiful stuff. Blockade here with knight a5, and you don't have to fear 3f4. So now what I'm gonna do is just show you on screen what are all the lines that we've seen so far. Again, the closed Sicilian, or starting with the move 2a6. And now, let's switch gears and talk about the Sicilian Alapin. The Sicilian Alapin usually starts with 2c3. As we'll see in this game, we can either play knight c6 or even try b6 to try to surprise our opponent. But the other thing which happens usually is knight f3 first, e6, and only now c3 is played. Now, the regular Sicilian can, once again, have many videos here. We do a6, and here you have to be ready against bishop d3 and then c3. This is a classic open main line. But in this case, on c3, we have the Sicilian Alapin. And here I have two different ways to fight this system. And one way to do that is to play knight c6. You're gonna equalize in this game. Let me show you this first set of variations. d4, d5. And here you may say, well, this doesn't look like a French defense. Yes, it does. After e5, we have the advanced variation. Here you play bishop d7. On a3, which is the main line, you play c4. But white may go like there. And let me show you just the move here. You will take on d4, and you have a very nice solid position. And here, what is the plan? f6, opening the f file and targeting that e5 pawn. Nothing to worry about. So typically here, even though white could transpose into the advanced variation, white typically take here and then play bishop b5. Now, this looks like a French defense type of variations, and you don't have to worry about. So this is the main line, and white is trying to say they're going to have an advantage because of the d5 pawn. As we shall see, there's not so much advantage for white. Here, bishop d3 is played. Now, if h3 were to be played, you will simply play a6, and you don't fear the trade. Now, on bishop d3 here, you want to play the move bishop f5. Now, the only trick here is bishop g4 would be bad, because check, and you lose the bishop back. So, if you know that trick, you play bishop f5, and you have nothing to worry about. Now, the game went on here. And you can see all your pieces are well developed. And white, even though white has blocked the d4 squares, you have activity on the open files. And that bishop here is also very active. So the position is simply equal. And in this game, we're going to see how black took the advantage. You play rook e4, trying to take control of the e file. Knight e5, you can see black pieces are more active. And here, if white were to take, it didn't happen in the game, you're threatening the queen. And on knight d4, you would do simply h5. And white is all stuck on the d file, and you have a lot of play with all more active pieces. Because of that, no exchange was made, but here you have the legendary triple on the e file, and you have also pressure like there. You have a dream position. Let me see what happened, why do you know what to do, and boom, exchanging everything, and we capture the pawn on d4. We have a winning queen and game. We're gonna play king g7 next, healthy pawn up, and white decided to resign here. Let's see another example. Now here, this setup I recommend if you play a lower rated player or you absolutely want to play for the win, and the setup is b6. So now d4 is played, and white grabs the center. Bishop b7, and here in the game, most players will play bishop d3, which is logical. But d5 is possible. You will play knight f6, attacking that center. And here, on take, you don't worry about the endgame. And on bishop g5, you play h6. And here, you would play this kind of position where queen g6, attack e4, and attack g2. So you have a very interesting setup for black. But instead, bishop d3 logical, knight f6, queen e2, bishop e7, castle. And here, you go in the center, and the only logical move is to play e5 for white. You retreat the knight, and here we pause. We have a very double-edged positions where black will go for the attack. How? Let's see. Knight e1, so that moves prepare f4, but also queen g4. Knight c6 attacks d4, queen g4. And here we unlaunch the attack with black by starting with the move g5. Risky, but promising at the same time. Knight c2, h5, the queen retreats. h4, we keep attacking the queen. The queen moves to e3. We play queen c7, king h1, h3, boom. And if white were to try to close the h file, we have a sack. That sack works because on d takes e5, d4 check, attack the queen, but also give a check, and we win the queen and the game. So in the game, g3 wasn't played, f4, but now we open everything. And on move 16, we play long castle because we play g5, h5 to attack with rook g8 on top. The position is absolutely winning for black. And here, very nice, take, 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 threatening to play d4 and also to take on d3. So again, d4 and knight d3 are on top. White tried to play knight d4, and here we didn't even take the bishop hanging on d3 because that would exchange the queens, but we play rook h4. What a move. We're skewering the queen, attacking that. We're gonna have rook g8 on top, knight d3. Everything is collapsing here. So, beautiful finish, white resigned over there. Now, the key position is over here. Knight e1 was a move, but a3 could be something you have to face. On knight c6, b4, white would attack here. What is the plan? The plan is super aggressive. You play g5, and here you play h5. Let me continue the game. You push your pawn, you play queen c7, and now what do? You do long castle with a very, very double-edged position. Rook g8, you're going for the kill, and of course, white will try to attack you. In the game that I've seen, black prevail in this position. So that's the aggressive setup using a little known line b6. Chances are your opponent won't be ready for that aggressive plan, so you have an edge trying that. So if I sum up the lines, but we surmised using the e6, c3, Sicilian Alapin, I show that on your screen, and good luck with your game. I hope you like this video and this special guide to the Anti Sicilian for the Sicilian Timanov or Sicilian 10 player. I'll see you in the next one.